How are you? Glad you're here. My name is Julia and these are my adonsonii cuttings. Oh my god, I hate doing intros. I hate them. Anyway, what I posted on Instagram, a cutting that I had, it was originally like this, one piece, but then someone kindly pointed out or reminded me on Reddit that I should probably split it again. And I wish now in hindsight I kind of had split it here instead of where I actually did it, because this means that you have less leaves per cutting, goes a little bit faster, and I have plenty of nodes here. Okay, so right off the bat, I'd like to give you some tips on how to propagate your Monstera. And this works for both the Monstera adonsonii, or adonsonii, however you want to pronounce it, and the Monstera deliciosa. And most rides with a node, most plants with a node. Okay, so the first thing that we're gonna look is that you cannot propagate leaves. This is not a Sansevieria or a snake plant, I guess that's what they call, or a succulent, for example. A succulent, you can't take the leaf, put it on soil, and after a while you're gonna have a bloom. This is not the case. You actually need a node, and I'm gonna show you soon where you find that node and what it looks like on my personal adonsonii. Another thing is that it's important to use sterilized scissors, shears, or whatever you're gonna use to cut it. Otherwise, you're gonna just help it rot. You can propagate sticks, but you need to have a node. And as long as you have nodes, you can basically propagate anything. Another tip is that after you cut, let the cut dry for an hour or two, or even longer. I'm gonna show you how to seal the cut, and I actually let the cut dry for the whole night, so like 10-12 hours maybe before I sealed it. And it helps it dry, it helps for it not to rot, and then you're gonna have more success rate. So it depending on how you do your propagation, it can take a while for it to start showing any roots. So be patient. The cutting that I have, both cuttings, one cutting on water and one cutting on soil, but it ended up just putting both on the soil because I have this terrarium that has a lot of light and I can control the humidity a little better, and it was just overall a better experience for the cutting. The other one that I put before already was showing some signs of, it's actually the cutting from the start of the video, it was already showing some signs of growth. So I was like, okay, I'm just gonna move both to soil, because you're gonna have success. You personally, you're gonna have success in either one or the other, so you have to find what's best. I know it's kind of scary to cut it, but okay, so it's a little bit sunny now. What is happening? Anyway, I wanted to show you where, like, possible ways to cut your adonsonii or any other vining plant. Oh my gosh, wait, I need to turn the humidifier off. This is a pretty leggy plant. It has a very long stalk, so yours might not look like this, but I guess it's a good way to show you. So I'm just gonna turn it around a little bit, and you see this? This is a node. This is the next node. Cut here. So right in the middle between two nodes, you make a cut. So I could probably cut it again here, cut it here, cut it here even, but that's just the overall match. So I have a few nodes on each cutting, And you don't really need to cut it like that way, but it was for me like the position, the way that they were, it was just more convenient. I love that shadow, it's so perfect. The way that they originally were was like this, so it was just easier to go with the scissors like that. Make sure you use clean scissors. And so I have 3 nodes on this one, and then I have a couple of nodes up here, like 2, and then 1, 2, 3 nodes, I think, down here. And then I put a little bit of cinnamon. This one is a little bit fresh, I got a little bit of cinnamon here. Okay, let's find a good spot for this. And I think I'll put it on this side, because here's already a little bit crowded. So I have a little piece of stick here that I'm gonna use to just help me dig in. And the soil is a little bit wet still. I'm trying to be really careful not to get any roots, but I don't think there are roots on this side. And so we are doing 1 cutting in water, 1 cutting in the soil. Let me show how it looks like. And we'll see who does what first. So I have my cutting. Let me see if I can move it this way. Oh, so much better. Yeah, there we go. Jules from the future here. So what happened was that I put the cutting on, 1 cutting on the water, 1 cutting on the soil like you saw. And the cutting on the water was mushy after a couple of days. You do have to change the water. I did change the water like 2 days, every 2 days. But I had to make an extra cut on the one that went on the water, and I didn't wait long enough, and that's why you wait. But then we got this terrarium, which, oh, that's my bottle, which I will show you what I did to put the terrarium together. Very similar to the other, to the jar. There is a video. I'm probably gonna put something here that you can click. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna seal it because I remembered about the wax sealing, which I'm also gonna show you. And I sealed it. I sealed both. I ended up sealing both. And then I took the cutting that was on the pot and the cutting that was on the water and put both on the jar. Terrarium. Jesus. Let's continue. I'm gonna still show you how I put it on the pot, and then I'm gonna show you what they look like now. Okay, so I just quickly sped up the video because we've lost so much time already with my fails. And it's pretty simple. You just make a hole, be aware of roots, and put your cutting in. No, this is not a cult. This is not anything crazy going on. I just remembered this thing that you can use wax to seal the tip of your cuttings, and I decided to try it out. I'm waiting for the wax to melt a little bit, the candle to melt, and so I can turn it off, obviously, and then we can try this thing. I don't know. To do the wax seal successfully, you will have to melt the candle. Then once it's melted, you turn it off. You dip it once, let it dry. You dip it twice, let it dry. I do 3 coatings, but you can do as long as you think it's necessary. So that's it for this video. If you enjoyed, if this was helpful, I tried to keep the basics in because I know a lot of people don't have no idea about propagation. Honestly, I have tried a couple of times
and I wasn't successful, then I had to study more, and now it seems that I'm on the right track. And if you enjoyed, give it a like, subscribe, because I'm gonna be doing this every week and I enjoy talking to you. If you have any questions, you can just drop the message down below on the comments, and follow me on Instagram. It's really easy to get a hold of me there too, so